Today is June 18, 2024, Tuesday. It's 6, sorry. We are in the Early Child Center in Palisades Park. I'll call the meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Board of Education. The flag salute will be read by Ms. BOE.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Su Chung,
Present.
Mr. Charlie Shin,
Yeah.
Ms. Rebecca Lee, Ms. Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Mr. Aaron Pack, Mr. William Kim,
Here.
Mr. Anthony Kim, here. Ms. Bo Young Yu,
Here.
Ms. Yoon Min,
Present.
Dr. Cirillo,
Here.
Bush Law Group,
Here.
Ms. Jocelyn Hernandez. Thank you.
In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, I hereby state that the notice of this special meeting has been provided to the public by the written notice dated May 15, 2024. The meeting notice has been emailed to all staff members at the District 3 school locations, communicated at least to one of the board designated newspaper, filed with the borough clerk of Palisades Park. We're entering into the work session, and then we'll review and discuss the resolution, and then the formal action will follow later in the regular session. So, is there any board members have a question regarding on, or discussion regarding on the meeting minutes dated May 22nd? No. Yeah, but we are just discussing it now. It's a work session, so we are not going to vote to adopt it, but is there any discussion or questions? Okay, the next order of business is a report from our committee. We'll start with the finance discussion.
Yes, the finance committee, we have 12 items, very long discussion to discuss, okay? And the first one is food service vouchers. And the second, the secretaries and treasurers' financial reports. And third, the verification of both secretaries' monthly certification budgetary line item states. And four, the approval of payroll of two payments of 1.8 million about. And five is approval of bill list. And six is transfer. And seven is school activity accounts. And eight is approval of HVAC. Is 17th payment $45,393.60. And 9 is the certificate of implement audit fiscal year 2023. And 10 is grant acceptance for the computer science high school course for $40,000. And 11 is CCL therapy contract renewal for 24 to 25 school year. The CCL therapy for occupational therapy evaluation service. And 12, System 3000 software license agreement renewal. And 13 is Summit Management Solutions LLC agreements for services. 14 is approval of purchasing manual and standard operating procedures. And 15 is approval of capital reserve transfer. And 16 is approval maintenance reserve transfer. 17 is renewal of contracts for the PL 2015 chapter 47. All the vendors. This is just the general vendor list we can do, and the individuals can be followed if there is any individual contract 18 is out of district contract for the 24 to 25. That's for like the BCSS, Bergen County Special Service. And 19 is summer authorization, and 20 is the relocation of expenditures in the 23 to 24 budget. There's 20 items we can discuss.
Thank you, Mr. Sim. Any board member have questions and discussions to raise regarding these finance items 1 to 20? It's a long list this time.
Number 8, approval of HVAC payment. How many more payments are there?
Yeah, we raised this question very often, so.
So we don't have an exact amount of how many more payments we will receive. The remaining balance is about 450,000, but we can have a balance after the contract is completely finished. Maybe they're not gonna spend the entire 450,000, so there might be a remaining balance that will transfer back into our capital reserve.
We are going to.
The other schools, there are 3 schools, right, involved. The 2 schools are done, and the one,
This is
one
only for the
high
high
school
school.
is left, right?
That is correct. I'm sorry, Ms. Smith.
So we are going to pay as a partial payment, right?
So yeah, when they bill us accordingly, usually on a monthly basis, according to the work they have performed. So again, we do have about $500,000 left. We hope they don't use all those funds. But again, there's no definitive dollar amount of how much more they will be utilizing. We can check with our architects and have an anticipated amount.
Okay, so, by the way, when we set up, when they submitted the quotation, okay, so we have to utilize the funds under that budget line, or is there any difference between the
Yeah.
original
So the money we
estimation?
received from ESSER for HVAC from COVID relief was the money we applied first, because if we
Right.
didn't use it, we would lose it.
Yeah.
So the additional money came from our capital reserve account.
Right.
If we don't utilize all of that money, we will transfer that back into our capital reserve account.
But that calculation was done already, okay?
Absolutely right.
Then after that, is there the amount change?
There were contingencies, and for any potential change orders,
Mhm.
there was very small contingencies applied to this project so far, but we have not exhausted any of our contingencies.
Okay.
Did we receive that large piece of equipment that we were?
It has not arrived yet.
And did they say when they will be arriving?
We might have to go pick it up. No, they didn't. We can check with Perez Samjian again too.
So number
So this
14.
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So HVAC, so we can put the air conditioner in which part of high school can we put the air conditioner?
Pretty much the whole building will have air conditioning. The classrooms will be most utilized. Our vents in the gymnasium will have exhaust vents. Will still need to be replaced. That was not part of the project. But for the majority of that building, they will all have air conditioning.
You mean in high school?
Yes, sir.
How about windows? Same?
No. Lindbergh School was our boilers. We replaced the boilers. They were some of the originals. They were old. We needed to ensure that we had heat before we worried about air conditioning. But as you may be aware, the board president and I have already reached out to the new architect firm. We are getting quotes on what that project might cost us in the Lindbergh Auditorium first.
It's, okay. So some consideration is being made. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So relevant to that, so we also hopefully we can consider the AC in the high school gym as well. But I know the budget is tight, and then it's not going to be made in a few, like 1 year. So for that just particular item to be included in finance meeting or whatever, like next year, or hopefully this summer, during summer in July or August, the finance committee can meet with Dr. Cirillo and how to just seek for any solution to make this happen. So we'll just discuss about the budget things, how much we could do our best within our budget to build the AC in the both gym in the both school. So I'm just asking the finance chair, can you conduct the meeting, the finance meeting regarding this issue
Okay.
during the summer?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. India, this is very cool. So if we can make the Lindbergh school like this, okay, I would be pleased to work with you. Never mind. Okay. And just for your information, number 17, the vendor list, the original, the resolution you had, there was some expired vendors like the John McCain, and the architecture and the auditor. So we took out those 3 vendors and put the new vendors like BKC and the Rand Associate and the Bush, the low group. We put the 3 vendors in there. Okay, just I'm saying this for your information.
Any other discussion, questions? I have a very simple question regarding number 13, summit management. Do we have any minimum request to spend on this form, or it's just as needed?
As needed.
Okay, and number 14, this is for school year, not the calendar year, right? It's a 2024, 2025.
So our calendar is very different from the rest of the world. We begin our calendar year on July 1st.
Right, so
So that will be until June 30th.
it's
So-
going to be next year, 2025.
So technically, this is the year July 1, 24 through June 30, 25.
25, 'cause,
Next June, we should be doing another one for 1 year.
Right. I'm just asking because it only say 2024, so.
So let it reflect July 1, 24 through 6/30/25.
Thank you. Any other questions? Alright, so next, building and grounds. We are missing the chair of the building and grounds, so I'll just state the items. We have 6 consent items from number 1 to 6. The first item is to approve the active shooter training at the junior high school on June 26th and June 27th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. The second item is to approve the submission of an application to the New Jersey Department of Education requesting an alternative method of compliance for the toilet room facilities. Third item is to approve the submission of an application for temporary instructional space 2024-2025 school year to the County Department of Education. The fourth item is to approve the Pro Elite Soccer Academy to use the facility of Lindbergh School building. The fifth one is to approve summer basketball club in, to use the facility in the high school gymnasium. The sixth one is to approve the following request from the Palisades Recreation Department for use of the Lindbergh School and high school facilities. The requests are tennis camp, adult basketball and volleyball, intramural basketball, and recreation summer camp. Any questions?
Today is 18th, and like the intramural basketball starts from June 17th, which is yesterday.
Right, and
So-
tennis camp started already in June 10th.
So they don't
my
care about our
understanding-
approval or
right.
whatever.
So they do care. We have made the recreation department aware multiple times that this request should have been here in May. It's unfortunate that we did not receive it in time. When we cut off our submissions, because we wanna give the board members ample time to review, and they don't make that request, You know, we don't wanna punish children either. So the children being punished are usually the kids from our schools and our community. So unfortunately, they have to do a better job of being, you know, cognizant of our dates and times and when things are cut off, and we'll remind them of such.
May I ask who did you contact to request to give us,
It's the recreation department.
the director?
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Chen, can you send like the formal letters to them to keep the time frame, because this is so loose and this is so disrespectful.
Well, this is already first time since it's not.
Even the Memorial Day parade, okay, they missed, there are such things too, so this is not understandable totally, so can you do something? Send like official letter to keep all the time frames and whatever.
Yeah, I understand, but last year I saw the family fun camp flyer before it was brought to attention to us. We didn't approve and didn't see any agenda, but it was already until like approved, so, let Dr. Cirillo contact them again, and then we can also request those, request too.
I'll email Mr. Terranova and copy you on that.
By the way, the students pay for this for, activities at tennis camp, and
I am not aware if
one
there's,
is the adult, so
I'm not aware if there's a charge associated with it.
Okay, if there's a charge, any profit that they make goes to municipality or,
I don't know.
okay, let's ask.
The toilet room facilities.
Yes.
What is that? Is that?
There's a requirement, that the classroom have toilets in there accessible for children. Unfortunately, the one classroom here in this building, is a extension of the building, and it's actually in the public library. And there is no bathroom there, so we have a waiver. We're not the only district that does this. We have a waiver that the children are using the bathroom in the hallway nearest to that classroom. That's already been approved by the Department of Ed in years past. This is just a compliance matter that you need to recertify.
Part of the COLE, number 4 and 5, those private organizations,
They are, yes, sir.
are we receiving an adequate fee for their use of our facility?
Are we receiving what fee?
An adequate fee?
I believe so, yes. We checked with surrounding districts. Based on the time of use and there's no need for lighting at this point, we are pleased with the amount.
And the borough, the rec department that's using the facilities, are they providing any sort of financial compensation?
So that's a great question, and it's one that maybe one of our audience members would be pleased with, because we're trying to explore all options. Number one, if it ever embarks or you know, encroaches upon a custodian needing to work overtime, it's outside of their regular shift, the borough is responsible for that payment. We bill them, they reimburse. Second, something that the board president and I have been looking at, since a lot of their requests are after hours, we are requesting now that they maybe afford a officer of some type be available on the grounds.
But other than covering costs, any sort of,
So we talked about maybe there can be some sort of upgrades to our facilities, maybe they can help with maintenance, maybe, you know, I'm sure the answer is going to be that they're short-handed or short-manned. Hopefully someone to your left can make that change in the near future if he's on that council. But the request would be something that if they continue to use our facilities, we are maintaining them, and we would need some assistance.
Vote for me.
I can't, that would be illegal.
I know.
Alright, so number 4, it says a schedule from July 1st to October 31st.
Yes.
So, any particular day of the week?
Yeah, I believe it's, I thought it was 3 nights a week. I thought it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I thought that was in the request. Do you have that, Alex?
Yeah, that is in the request I didn't put in.
It's 3 days a week, 1.5 hours each night.
I will update it.
3 days.
Yes.
it's for 12 days per month and $600 per month.
Yes,
Are they private sector or is
they are private,
private?
yes.
Number 5 too? Is
Yes.
it, is it?
It is private, yes.
The summer basketball club. For, is there any compensation for the use of the facility?
I believe number 5 is a non-for-profit, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Do you have that request? We'll have to follow up on number 5. I know number 4 is private. I believe number 5 is private as well, but I think they had a non-for-profit affiliation.
Okay. Well, if as long as they don't charge the students, then I'll be
Absolutely.
okay with
I
it.
agree.
But if they can make a profit and not paying for the school facility, then.
I think
then
maybe
we'll
if there's a contingent approval on it, Alex can follow up with them and email the board members accordingly.
Thank you.
If they do this, okay, for their profit, okay, for the students living in Palisades Park, ask them to give some favors for the students living in
waive the
Palisades
fee?
Park. That's what we need.
I don't believe that there is a fee for number 5. I do not believe they will be charging the children. We're gonna confirm that in an email and we'll have something shared with the board members.
Okay.
For number 6, so the use of the facilities has already started.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep, so maybe we should reflect in our minutes, that this is approved on, if it's so approved, on June 18th. And if there was any injury of any type prior to this date, the board should not be responsible, but I would defer that to the attorney.
Is it possible to request compensation now for the use?
William, being that I think all of their requested times are during days that we already have coverage in our schools, I've never requested compensation, but if going forward, there's a reason to do so, and I know, believe me, we can use it. That's something that I would recommend that a meeting be held with the recreation department and maybe whoever liaison from the council is.
But number 6 is kind of urgent. If we don't approve now, then it might affect their activity, right?
Sure.
Any further questions, discussion under the building and ground agendas? If not, let's move on to personnel. Mr. Shin, would you please address the 5 consent agenda?
The personnel committee has 5 items to discuss. The first one is summer school personnel appointment, and second is appointment of summer school lead instructors, and the third is the Elementary and Secondary Education Act grant program administrators approval for 2024 to 2025 school year. And number 2 is child study team summer hours. And number 5 is the appointment of 3 new teachers, welcome new teachers, and 1 counselor and 1 custodian. For 5 items to discuss.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Discussion on,
Just for some clarity on number 4, I've been meeting with the child study team, with the Director of Special Services. There will be specific individuals on the June 26th meeting. So technically, they are all employees of our schools. It's just a matter of how many weeks they will be working as per the contract. That will be, again, discussed next Wednesday night.
We'll discuss next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this item 4 is tabled.
Yeah, there's really nothing more there to vote on. It's just a matter of, to bring to your attention.
curriculum, Ms. BOE.
Okay, number one, bilingual waiver, 2024-2025, SY. Number two, 2024 to 2027 language instruction and educational program, 3-year plan. Any questions?
Any questions and discussions? It was a very long documents to read both items. So, I don't know if you have any questions. If not, let's move on to negotiations. Chairperson, Mr. William Kim.
We just report that negotiations are still ongoing.
Thank you so much for all your effort and time. And policy committee, Ms. Min.
Yeah, no report.
Okay. New Jersey School Board Liaison alternate, Ms. Yoo-kyung Park.
I have no report today.
The county school board rep and alternates, Mr. Aaron Bang is not here tonight, and I don't think he has a report neither. Yep. And school safety and security committee, chairperson, Ms. Jansoni Kim.
No report.
Thank you. Do we have all the business tonight?
Not that I'm aware of.
Then we have one new business item, that is to approve New Christian Academy as a preschool private provider as per the contract, effective September 1st, 2024 to June 30, 2025. Do you have any questions?
What is the contract for?
So this was shared in the drive in your folders. Part of the agreement with the New Jersey Department of Ed and our preschool expansion grant is that we are supposed to partner with private daycares or providers in the community if there's a need, of course. Because there's a need, because we have no more space here, clearly we are utilizing 2 classrooms at the New Christian Academy only for Palisades Park residents. So if students who live in Palisades Park between the ages of 3 and 4 are eligible for pre-K, they are still required to follow the requirements that we are, no more than 15 students in a classroom. Money is funneled through our Board of Ed to the New Christian Academy. All students must provide residency and establish that they are residents of Pal Park here with us.
Do they have, teachers aid in each classroom?
They are required to have teacher aides, yeah.
It's actually long documents, it's very detailed in the contract.
Yes.
And I have a question because this is like, so enrollment, preschool enrollments to this Palisades Park ECC.
Yes, ma'am.
That's like first come, first served
That is correct.
things. So if you register your child later, then there are.
So if they
sent
have,
to-
hypothetically speaking, if we have a wait list here
Okay,
and they have open seats in their facility,
okay,
we can actually help some of our students find placements in their school. They don't have any open seats. Their classrooms are at capacity.
I don't think that's going to be a major issue, but just curious that this is Christian Academy, is there any ethnic and religious conflicts with any community
It's a great question.
members?
Because they're established as a private provider,
Okay,
they are eligible to have that program. We have tried to partner with many providers in the community.
Right.
Many a times I have been met with resistance. They're afraid that I'm trying to take over their business. I'm not trying to take over their business. I'm trying to share the wealth and get more of our students educated. The reality is I guess we pose a threat because we're a public school and we have a lot more funds than they do. And this
Thank you.
program, of course.
Wait, so are there kids, this is for the future,
This is for September. Any 3-year-olds that are registered at the New Christian Academy that are Palisades Park residents are eligible to go to school for free. Just like the children are eligible to come here for free, but because we have no more space at this point, We are partnering with a facility.
And how many students do you expect?
At that building, we are requesting 2 classrooms, no more than 30 students. 15 is the max.
So students?
30.
15 and 15. Any other questions? If not, may I have a motion to close the work session and move on to the regular session?
I'd like to make a motion to close, to open the regular session.
Okay, close the work session, open the regular session. Thank you. Okay, so we'll start with, okay, board present. So tomorrow is a graduation day, as all we are aware of. 3 schools will have graduation ceremony tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for ECC, 5 p.m. for Lindbergh, 7:30 p.m. for high school. And Dr. Sira, do you remember the Lindbergh spring concert? It was June 10th, that I remember. It's a Monday. And I attended the June 10th
Yes, it was.
Lindbergh spring concert in Lindbergh and June 14th Hope Club events. Thanks for all the school staff to invite and send us the invitation to us, the board members. It was, I enjoyed it very much, both concert and the Hope Club, but again, that feel very sorry that there is no AC in both events. So, special thanks to Ms. Joe and Ms. Morgessi to conduct and help the students to make that event possible on that day, despite of the conflict of the use of the space. And thanks to Mr. Arabito, she is the person who proposed on the music, right? So it was very impressive. And also board members, and I've been actually tied up with other work, so I didn't really initiate or address this issue. But I think we all received the letter from the county rep, Mr. Matthew, about CSA evaluation. I know Dr. Sirlo has been working very hard. So, but this kind of evaluation it might not be easy for the first year board members. That will reach out to you maybe next week. And also all of our board members, please do work on it, and then we'll discuss from maybe later this week and next week. Thank you. And next is Dr. Cirillo. Do you have a superintendent report?
Yeah, just rather quickly, we did have to postpone our NJSBA presentation. That will be rescheduled to a later date. Additionally, we have Ms. Jocelyn Hernandez, who has been our student rep for this past year, although she is not available to be here tonight. We're going to recognize her, and for her service, we thank her publicly. As you mentioned, graduations, although very warm, will begin tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. for the kindergarten, at 5 p.m. for the 6th grade, and at 7:30 for our high school seniors. And last but not least, I want to give a special public acknowledgement to Ms. Debbie Yumshakian. The junior senior high school were recipients of a $40,000 computer science grant. Any free money is any money that we will happily receive that will benefit our computer science programs and the courses in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cirillo. And Mr. Jonathan Bush, do you have any reports about Tony?
I don't right now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's approve the meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minute dated May 22nd?
I'll make the motion.
May 26th?
May 22nd, yes, May. Last month's special board meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Any second?
I second.
All in favor?
You mean
Okay.
the May 22nd minute, right?
Right, wait, second.
Where can we see the May 22nd minute?
I shared that with you on the drive.
Right? Okay, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
No objection? Any abstention? If not, it's approved. Right, right. Okay, so let's go to the finance committee report. Well, we did the report, so let's move on to finance. May I have a motion to approve item number 1 to 20 in finance?
I'd like to make a motion to approve from number 1 through 20.
I second. Roll call, please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Anthony Kim, Yoon Min,
Yes?
Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yes.
William Kim,
Yes, with the exception of number 17, where I'll abstain.
Number 17?
I'm abstaining due to potential conflict of interest.
I'm sorry, what number is it?
17,
17?
Go Young Yu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, building and grounds. May I have a motion to approve building and grounds item number 1 to 6? For me, I'd like to add some contingency on number 6 that we need to contact them as soon as possible to the recreation departments to be in compliance with our request. Thank you. May I have a motion?
Can we request compensation from the rec department?
To give us a head of time to review and approve before they advertise or send out any flyer.
I'd like to request compensation from the rec department for the
You do?
use of facilities.
You wanna add in the contingency too? I agree.
I agree we're one town, but we have separate districts.
Right. Can you mention any the item number? Number 4, 5,
Number 6.
number 6?
I think a meeting should be had with the mayor and council potentially regarding this.
I believe so. So I will add this one to the agendas that I'm thinking of for the meeting with the mayor council in July. So please remind me if I forget, but I'll put it on tonight. Thank you for reminding me.
William, are we approving this as is, or are you seeking to table it until there's a financial resolution established? The program started, it seems. And I don't wanna punish children from participating either, or adults in this case.
That's the only one reason that I'm just voting for it, but if someone opposed to it, I'm okay to postpone or table it.
I said, in order to protect the program, why don't we approve it, but with the understanding that we'll request compensation.
Sure.
And I think being that July 1st is a new calendar year for us, different from the municipal government, I think we can establish that going forward, that's what we are seeking to do.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve 6 items on the building and ground with the contingencies we just discussed about?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Anthony Kim,
Yes.
Yoon Min,
Yes?
Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yes.
William Kim,
Yes.
Go Young Yu.
Aye.
Okay, personnel. May I have a motion to approve personnel item number 1 to 5. Those are consent agendas. Any motion? Can I make a motion to approve consent agenda number 1 to 5 on the personnel?
I like to make a motion.
Oh, I just made the motion, can you second? So you
Yeah,
second. Roll call please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Anthony Kim. Yoon Min,
Yes.
Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yeah.
William Kim,
Yes.
Bo Young Yu.
Aye.
Yep.
Curriculum, there are two consent agenda number 1, 2. May I have a motion?
I make the motion.
I second. Roll call please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Anthony Kim. Yoon Min,
Yes.
Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yes.
William Kim,
Yes.
Bo Young Yu.
Aye.
Okay, I'll just jump into the new business since we don't have any reports for the rest of committees. May I have a motion to approve just one agenda, that's agreement with the New Christian Academy. May I have a motion? I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda number 1 on the new business.
Second.
Roll call please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Anthony Kim. Yes. Yoon Min,
Yes.
Suk Young Park,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yes.
William Kim,
Yes.
Bo Young Yu.
Aye.
Thank you.
I don't need motion to jump. Now we're open to the audience to participate in the meeting. So each speaker have 3 minutes.
New business?
No. Oh, you have question on new business?
Yes.
We just approved.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was-
But you can still raise
I
questions.
thought it was the personal. Is there any way we can post, if it is not urgent, can we postpone just to the next week's meeting? Because, do they allow us, like a Board of Education member visit and make the tour of that facility?
The
New
Christian
Christian
Academy?
and
You can
or
go.
their curriculum?
I think the reality is we probably need to submit this to Trenton, but I would be more than happy to take you tomorrow and see the facility.
Yeah, I'd like to see before sign the contract, their facility or, for example, like, I'm not sure, but, for example, if they do like some prayers, Christian prayers in the morning
They do not- they
if that's
cannot.
included, that's not acceptable.
Charlie, they
Such
cannot do
things.
that.
So, if it is allowed, okay, I'd like the table just for a week to the next week's meeting and make the tour.
Is it
of this
sectarian,
school.
non-sectarian?
Yeah.
It's a sectarian.
Is what?
Sectarian, like
Yeah.
they play.
The children in the classroom, this is their building, this is their school. We are not hiring the teacher, we are not hiring anyone. They have to abide by the department.
I'd like to see what they will do.
We have a motion, we have an approval on it. It looks like now he wants to table it.
It's already been approved, so someone would have to make a motion to rescind the matter if you would want to do that.
Would you like to, you can make a motion to rescind the,
Table this?
No, wouldn't be the table.
because you already voted?
It's already been approved.
So to the extent that it's been approved already, the board would have to, someone would have to make a motion to rescind the action, we'd have to identify exactly what action it is. There'd have to be a second, and you'd have to have another vote on that.
I will actually, for me, just personally, I have visited for my child a few years ago, so I know the facility, so I probably be okay with it. But if you like to visit before you voting, then you can make a motion to rescind for this item that we already passed.
Okay, then the motion is passed, and in the meantime, okay, can you arrange for me to visit there? Okay?
If you're at the kindergarten,
Yeah,
Will you
I
be at the-
would be more comfortable to see that.
Charlie, if you're at the kindergarten graduation tomorrow, upon completion, I
Yeah.
will make arrangements, we can go right there tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
just in case if you don't really like it, baby,
I'm sorry?
You're gonna take them all, you're gonna arrange for.
Hand in hand, field trip.
I just wanna make sure.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow morning, after kindergarten graduation, we will go.
and also in case he doesn't really like the facility or think this need to.
It's mine,
use it,
it's still a
then,
recommendation that I
yeah,
made,
but
so at
still
that
you can
point,
see next meeting too, right?
Yes, but the further you get from an board action,
we have to submit this to the state as well, that's a
Right.
requirement. So it's gonna be hard, if Charlie goes there tomorrow and says, I don't like the paint, really, it's not our choice.
well, just in general, like not this issue, but anything, board, the further we get from the vote itself, the more difficult it is to take it back. You can always take a vote back. Theoretically, you could take a vote back years after you've made it, but if payments have already been made or submissions to the state have been made, whatever the issue is, it becomes harder to put that genie back in the bottle, and you know what I mean, I think. So if you're gonna rescind it, then yeah, maybe next week you could, but if an action's already been taken to send something to the state as a result of this action that was taken earlier tonight, then that's something that could be harder to get back. So just want you to understand that before you all move on.
Yeah, anyway, I respect the what was passed, okay? So I respect that. In the meantime, yeah, I would feel more comfortable if I see it myself, okay? That's what I'm telling you.
Any other discussion? No questions? Let's move on to the audience participation. As I stated, each speaker has 3 minutes. And please just start with your name and address. Gentleman there.
District's president of the Italian National Honor Society, and I'm here with members of the Honor Society, my father. I'd like to call to attention that next year, it's been reported that Italian 1 has been removed from the curriculum. And we'd like to have, your opinion about that. And we have signed petitions of people from the high school from 8th to 12th grade, who are looking to have Italian 1 back into the curriculum. And in our opinion, if Italian 1 is removed from this curriculum, the Italian National Honor Society will cease to exist. You cannot get into the society if you don't have an entry course into the into Italian 1. So, if I may, can I bring this up to you guys?
Yes, please. Thank you, we'll review it, I will share with other board members. And my question is, what's the reason of removal? Like, is there lack of students, or is it budget or fund issues?
It's not a financial reason, and at this point, no courses have been removed. We obviously seek student opinions, and at that point, we run courses based on request. I did have a conversation with Mr. Kim, I believe late last week, for a small school district.
Yeah.
If you can find, I'm gonna use groups, classifications for, if you find a group 1 school that offers more than 2 world languages, I'd be very surprised. I'm not saying that Italian is being removed. I was accused of that years ago. Again, I'll say the same thing I said years ago. I was watching the soccer game 3 days ago at my house. I'll be watching it Thursday. I'm Italian American. I'm very proud of that. I'm not removing Italian. I'm sure as heck not removing Korean, and I'll sure as heck not remove Spanish. Again though, with that being said, we have budget requirements, and we can't just run courses for the sake of saying, we're a group 1 school and we run 3 world languages. Financially, we do have to look at all of our parameters, but we will take this into account. I'm not aware that Italian 1 is being removed at all. Maybe a section of it based on the numbers. I see a head being shaken, but It's news to me. I already sent a text while you were speaking. Thank you for being here.
Any other audience? Ms. Johnny?
Hi, how are you? Ms. Cerny. Just for the sake of sharing an update, on negotiations and just keeping the facts out there for the community to be informed. Louder? Okay. So we've had 3 meetings with William, Kim, and Dr. Cirillo, and a phone conversation between Mr. Musler and Mr. Kim, just to go over in length how the guides are made and how everything works out. The purposes of these meetings was to get the negotiations back on track, moving towards a deal. We met for about 9 hours so far in that time period, and at this point, nothing has been agreed to upon. The board at that point, had not moved from their original salary proposal. At our last meeting, William Kim asked the association to formally provide a counteroffer to move things forward, which we did. He said he would provide a counteroffer from the board's team. That was last Thursday. We did not receive the counteroffer until 10:50 a.m. today. The timing of this response was not lost on us. We waited 5 days for that offer, and that offer that was given was well below the county average. The PPA negotiations team has continuously made ourselves available and ready to make decisions and negotiate in good faith, which is why when asked to give the counter on the spot at the last meeting, we did. William explained that it would be the only way to get his members to counter. The board's negotiation team, on the other hand, has been unable or unwilling to negotiate in real time. When you try to make a party negotiate against themselves instead of being ready to negotiate at the table, that is called bad faith bargaining. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
So I wasn't gonna say anything tonight. We've obviously been working with the board's negotiations team, and obviously compared to the tone of the last meeting, which was not anything that anyone wanted, I don't think on either side. We had felt like the good faith piece was absolutely there, and that there were lots of conversations going. Bargaining can be tricky, bargaining can be complex, bargaining can sometimes be a situation when both sides have difficulty with the information being provided by the other. But I'm just going to say this, as we will continue on our side to work in good faith to move forward, because we will. I mean, whether you believe that that's happening or not, that's important to us, but we're going to still try our hardest whether you actually see it as happening. But what I'm going to say is that we keep having this situation where we have ground rules, and those ground rules are being violated. I'm not going to get into what happened at the last meeting. I'm just talking about this now. All kinds of details just now about our 9 hours plus, and I haven't been part of them. I know my firm has been involved to some degree behind the scenes, but the amount of detail that's being shared about the negotiations isn't helpful, because at the end of the day, we have a provision in the ground rules that talks about not sharing details with the community, and that, it appears, just happened. So again, just for the record, I want to say that we are trying really hard to move forward. We're trying to negotiate in good faith. We really want to get to a resolution here, but let's try to stick to those ground rules. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Ms. Peppers?
I have a question for resolution number 6.
What
See
committee?
what
What committee?
For the
Breeding and ground?
breeding ground. It seems like approval for all this program is very important, but it seems like the board member doesn't know the information, either none of them of you guys. So I don't know why this being put it, and it's every year that we run this kind of program. It seems like it's no info. So approving thing like guessing and this, it seems to me like it's not fair to the student, because you don't know who's gonna cover what, who who is, insurance, who is running, so it seems like it's missing a lack of information for very important program for the kid, and also for the board member, feel not comfortable to go for something that they not aware. And for the program that we're gonna have, we don't know the teacher, who's gonna run this kindergarten program. We don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of the members doesn't know the school, and it's our kid from our town who's gonna attend that program. So it seemed to me like it's need more deep information for running this program, but we're gonna pay for it. We're gonna pay for that. And regarding the contract of the teacher, as a parent, it's really concerning, and, it seemed to me like this is gonna affect our incoming year, because a lot of the teachers has to renew the contract at this point for the incoming year. Are we gonna have those teachers coming back, see that this is going on like that? So I really like that you consider that, and also putting team together, so we could, come with a good answer for the teacher, that we need. We have our kid that is already making schedule with the teacher that they know, and know that it's very important that we make that decision and put it together, because if we don't do it, then we may lose our teacher, that we need it, and we know that we are very low in teacher in the whole United States, a lot of schools don't have teacher, and so it's very important that we keep the one that we already have for our school. That is very important. I know you guys been working very hard on that, but it seems to me like when we're gonna end this, And again, I'm gonna tell all the teachers, I know you guys have a lot of things where everybody have busy life, please come to the meeting, know the board member, that way you get more information, what's going on, what program we're running, what you guys want for our kid. As a parent, I come here and I say what I need or what I see. And it's very important, we all attend here, not in this time. And, for Dr. Cirillo, I'm gonna say, I'm really happy. I went to the high school, I haven't been in the high school for a good time. I never had to go home. And I went just to pick it up my daughter, and I see how, the security door was, put it in place, like you have to give your ID. And it was like he asked me where I'm going before I just go in the building. It was very nice, I like it. This is something that is make our kid more secure and our staff. And I really like that we made. I haven't seen it, what just happened, that I went there, and I really like that. And regarding the fan, we haven't heard anything about it, all Lindbergh. And if we're gonna put kid in there, if they're not gonna pay for us, the people who are gonna run this program, we need to at least ask them to clean it and put it nice. And maybe have somebody there for we to open that fan. That fan is still locked, and it's hot weather, and it seems to me like it's not gonna happen, never.
Thank you. To just clarify your questions, when you comments about the program is for just number 6 on the ground, or are you mentioning about the Christian Academy as well?
I mentioned
She's talking about both.
program, we have tennis camp, basketball.
I can
Seems like
respond.
there's no information.
I can respond. So the recreation program is only seeking the use of our facilities. We don't decide who runs their programs. They're hired by the mayor and council, I assume. That is not our decision. The request before the board, and my recommendation to the board, is to use our facilities, that's all. And I think it's a very good rationale provided by Mr. Kim, and it's something that Ms. Chung and I will be meeting with the mayor and council to see how they can, somehow, some way meet us in the middle, whether it's with field upgrades, whether it's with personnel to man our school grounds, or it's compensation monetarily. But we will be doing that. As far as the school, the fact that we are not hiring the teachers, the parents of this community are going to that school regardless. And being that they're residents of Palisades Park, the contract permits them to receive free education because we offer it to gen ed students in Palisades Park. So it's not that I'm taking away any teaching positions, I'm actually adding 2 positions in that school. Because now, a private facility does not necessarily have to abide by the same requirements a public school does. But that facility now, by being a part of our program, must have 2 certified teachers in those classrooms. And they must be paying them comparable to what we are paying our teachers' starting salaries. So I know, again, they're opening up a little bit of a can of worms at their facility, but they also are gonna be saving a lot of taxpayers, residents of Powell Park, money. And that's really what this program is, really at its root, a great opportunity for taxpayers to save money.
Any other audience in public? And now may I have a motion to close the audience participation and then move on to the closed session?
I'd like to make a motion to close the audience participation and open the participation. Second.
Thank you. Do you think we have to move or?
So there is going to be formal action only on the HIP matters when we return. It could be anywhere 10 to 15 minutes, but that is the only action to be taken when we return.